are Nintendo cartoons so weird? There's a lot of Nintendo cartoons. They range anywhere from iconic to terrible.
Well, excuse me, princess.
But a lot of them are just flat out unhinged, especially for a company as large and successful as Nintendo. And they're unhinged in so many different ways too. Anything from completely misrepresenting the source material, controversial subject matters, violence, and even something pretty sure I'm not allowed to say in the first 30 seconds of a YouTube video without getting in trouble. Yeah, we'll go over that one later. First, we'll go over a Mario cartoon episode, specifically an episode of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I've covered some episodes a long time ago, and they were all pretty weird, especially the rapping one.
Rapland isn't rapping anymore. Koopa took their king and the money too. We're here to figure out what to do.
That sure was an episode of a cartoon that presumably aired on an actual TV channel at some point. But there was one episode that was a lot more controversial. Towards the latter part of the series, they clearly started to run out of ideas, and every episode turned into some kind of lazy parody. A Star Wars parody that we covered in the past, a Romeo and Juliet parody, an Indiana Jones parody, in which Koopa and his minions wear armbands that are supposed to look like the Nazi swastika. Almost forgot to mention that one. A freaking US Revolutionary War parody?
General George Washington.
We are fighting to save our new nation that bring freedom to all mushrooms.
Yeah, we also covered that one. This show is so weird. And what was the other one? Oh yeah. Alcatraz Prison. Yes, you heard that one correctly. A Mario Alcatraz Prison parody. Alcatraz was an island prison in San Francisco, California that held a reputation as one of the harshest prisons in the world during its time, and naturally it housed some of the United States' most violent criminals. During certain periods, inmates weren't even allowed to speak, there was no light solitary confinement, multiple violent and bloody breakout attempts, and a lot more that I'm not sure it would be appropriate to cover in this video, but yeah, you know, for a Mario cartoon, perfect!
It's me, Mario.
As always, the show begins with a live-action segment with Lou Albano and Danny Wells as Mario and Luigi, respectively. Luigi is trying to learn French to get in with the ladies, and Mario isn't buying it.
No matter what language you spoke, what woman would want to go out with you?
The joke is that he's ugly.
I'm going out to the park where I can practice French without being bothered by some Le Grand Fatso like you.
The joke is that he's overweight. It's nothing too crazy, but hey, maybe it'll get more interesting later. Me from the future here, it doesn't get better.
Weren't you gonna show me your French etchings? A little French fry.
Wow, humana, 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 humana.
The joke is that she's sexy. And we're not gonna bring it up again. So many cartoons. So many cartoons. When will the cartoons stop? Ah! Huh? Well, at least I have my air up to keep me company. Oh yeah, and you too, I guess. This video is sponsored by Air Up. I don't know about you, but I am constantly struggling to drink enough water. That is, until I got my air up. I had to sit down and watch so many cartoons for this video to find the most unhinged bits. And I was actually drinking from my air up the entire time. It makes drinking water easy because it's not just some regular water bottle. What it is the first hydration system that flavors water through scent. And there's so many different flavors to pick from, it doesn't just make drinking water easy, it makes it addicting. But I know what you're thinking, how does it work? You fill your air up with water up to the point on the bottle, pick which flavor you want, push it down onto the top with the flavor side up, then pull it up a bit to unlock the scent. The water goes down and the air goes up, and it carries that flavor scent to your brain and nostrils. And just like that, no sugar, no calories, and you have pure water that is flavored. Another way to explain it would be, it's magic. And Air Up makes for the perfect holiday gift too. It's stylish, it's sleek, it promotes healthy habits. Get it for your mom, get it for your brother, get it for your grandma. Buy an extra one for me. Why not? Use my link below to take advantage of Air Up's biggest sale ever and save up to 40% on all orders from November 20th to November 27th. And thanks again to Air Up for sponsoring. Over in Cartoon Mario World, the brothers Peach and Toad have been captured by Bowser. How did they get captured? I don't know. Apparently that very interesting sounding event is just not worth going over.
Here come the Koopa.
Koopa Court is now in session.
Don't we get to talk in our own defense? I'd like to say...
After a very rigged trial, Bowser lays down their sentence of 500 years in Koopa-Trez prison. They spend most of the time in the prison doing basically nothing, and eventually escape by digging their way through dirt and concrete with frickin' forks. And they take this old toad with them who turns out to be Toad's grandpa. I should mention that this old toad has been in Koopatra's prison by himself for over 30 years. Bowser set up an entire island prison with employees, guards, the works for just this one guy. Frankly, he must be the most dangerous criminal in history. And of course, Mario just lets him out without asking any questions whatsoever. Whatever heinous crimes he commits in the future are now on your hands, Mario. As a child, I lived a pretty peaceful, stress-free, happy life. That is until I saw the Sonic cartoon.
Hey Sonic, wait for me!
I will remember you. Holy shit.
Never cross the street without looking both ways first. I don't want any of my pals ending up as road pizza.
Okay, Sonic, I'm 3 years old. Mom, what's a road pizza? Little did I know that death was lurking around every corner. A lot of these old shows back in the day had PSAs intended to teach kids valuable safety lessons. Teaching kids lessons is great and all, but I have to say some of these PSAs were a little bit intense, especially for the target age demographic. Of course, there's the one everybody knows about.
If someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good.
But there's also Sonic Covers Swimming Safety,
It's not a good idea to go swimming by yourself.
where Tails gets uncomfortably close to being gored by a shark multiple times.
When you go swimming, take along your best bud.
So he can die too. Sonic Covers Graffiti.
Hold it, little buddy. That's graffiti.
Good job, Sonic. It's way better now. Sonic Covers Drinking.
Try it, kid.
Only dumbbots drink liquor.
Remember, kids, liquor is only for daddy. I love booze. That's my new favorite canon Sonic the Hedgehog line. Sonic Covers the United States legal system.
I'm scared, Sonic. What's the judge gonna do to me?
I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be fair.
Tails was sentenced to 20 years in a federal penitentiary. He later died while in captivity due to health complications.
Sonic Covers Getting Mugged.
We're surrounded, Sonic. Call 911.
No way, Tails. 911 is for real emergencies. If there's a fire or someone's trying to break into your home, that's when you call 911.
Not when you're surrounded by people who want to kill you, though. That you gotta handle on your own.
Give me your money. Just get out your pocket. Come on, just hand it over, hand it over.
Uh-oh. Well, this isn't good. Wait, remember what Sonic said?
If we call 911 for assistance, someone who really needed help would be in trouble.
Woo! That was a close one.
Cartoon characters never really get hurt by guns, but real people do.
Those dryer fans can break your bones when they get going. You could get hurt taking dumb chances at the playground.
Toxic chemicals can burn or poison you.
The damage caused by one bad sunburn can last the rest of your life. It's not safe to wander off alone. Feet goes to pieces. So could you.
You can hurt yourself or your friends or family.
Use your head. Don't end up dead. It's not how big your is. It's what you do with it that counts.
Wait, what? Then there were PSAs on the previously mentioned Super Mario Bros. Super Show, but those were even scarier because they were brought to you by this man, Captain Lou Albano. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen the drug one by now.
I'm Captain Lou Albano talking to you about drugs. Kids, anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Please.
The absolute sincerity of that please is by far the scariest part.
Please.
Captain Lou has seen some stuff. Just imagine being a kid watching the goofy live-action Mario on TV. Silly Mario. And then all of a sudden he's yelling at you.
Believe me, it's the right way.
He just has such a threatening aura, especially for a kid's show.
Do you know someone that owns a gun or a knife? They can hurt people or even kill them. It could happen to your best friend or you. It's important to keep your doors and windows locked. If you have a safety chain, Put it on. Then lock the regular door locks too.
Mario, I'm 3 years old. I can barely reach the door handle.
If anything should ever happen to you...
Wait, what's gonna happen to me? Mom, what's gonna happen to me?
The police can't stop crime without your help.
Wait, they can't? Well, that's alarming.
Have you been fingerprinted yet? It's fun. You can get fingerprinted at any police station.
What do the police need my fingerprints for? Is that even a thing?
What would you do if you were the victim of a crime?
I don't know, Mario. I'm a small child. If someone's trying to kill me, I will probably just die. Is that the answer you're looking for? A lot of these lessons are actually super important, but I do think there is some kind of balance between teaching kids valuable safety lessons.
Guns and knives can kill.
And giving them crippling anxiety for the rest of their life. Kids, I'm telling you, at any point in your life, you could just get f***ed up. Have you heard about microplastics? Me neither, but I'm pretty sure they could kill you. Has your uncle ever tried to talk to you? Don't let him. Just punch him in the nuts. Have you ever given your DNA to the cops? Head straight to the police station. Don't tell your parents. They'll even provide the finger-cutting knife. Do you think you're safe at night in your bed? No. Someone could be crawling through your window right now. But don't call the police unless you're ready to do your part too. Please. Remember, kids, guns and knives can kill. Up next, I want to talk a little bit about the infamous Legend of Zelda Cartoon. I've also talked about this show in a couple older Zelda Month videos before, but we only went over the first couple episodes. And I mean, don't get me wrong, those first couple episodes certainly were something. It's the only cartoon I know of that can go straight from Zelda murdering a bird straight to...
Oh boy, smooching time.
Literally anything happens and Link responds with...
Kiss me. It was worth a try.
And for that reason, Link, you're fired.
Now get this belt off.
No.
No, he says. He won't let her go unless she kisses him.
No.
She reluctantly gives in to this as long as he promises never to do it again. Only for him to lie that he won't with his frickin' fingers crossed behind his back. Now that's comedy. I actually don't think I'm even allowed to say so on YouTube, but again, totally okay for a Nintendo cartoon, apparently. But it's not just the first 2 episodes. The weird erotic overtones continue throughout the entire series. Link Spider-Man's uninvited into Zelda's room in the middle of the night while she's sleeping. Link is so horny that even in his sleep, he can't contain himself. Shooting an arrow and sleepwalking on a rope over to her room. Screw sleeping, even dying isn't enough to stop this pervert.
Even when you're a ghost, you're disgusting.
He actually hits on her multiple times while he's dead.
Oh, shut up.
The last of which he doesn't even bother responding to.
How about a kiss?
At one point, Link and Zelda are getting down, only to be interrupted, to which Link says,
They couldn't have waited 10 seconds?
Only 10 seconds, bro? Yikes. And just a few seconds later, Zelda gets gooped by Tektites and then wrapped skin tight like some kind of latex. Then they awkwardly drag her across the grass. They show this exact shot 4 times, and it is hilarious all 4 of those times. Honestly, it should have been 5. Oh yeah, and she also nearly gets decapitated, and Link makes sure to crack a joke before saving her.
Don't want your hair to get bust, princess.
And then he kills her. It's obviously super weird how Link is just constantly hitting on Zelda, literally throwing himself at her the entire show.
Kiss me.
Wonderful.
But what's also weird is Zelda's reactions. Half the time she's like,
don't touch me.
But then later she's all over him.
Shut up and kiss me. So for you, a big kiss.
Also, I'm just gonna say it. They didn't have to draw Zelda's butt. That doesn't just happen. That is a choice. They made sure to draw her butt crack in literally every scenario possible. Wait a second, I just realized something. Breath of the Wild ripped off the Legend of Zelda cartoon? But it's not just Zelda getting constantly hit on. Link also gets a taste of his own medicine with the fairy character.
Get out of here, I'm taking a bath.
I know.
And she somehow manages to be even hornier than he is.
I like you
you just the way you are, especially at the moment.
Well, after all that, I think it's only appropriate that we move on to the most stimulating, titillating, most visually appealing cartoon of all time, Donkey Kong Country. The Donkey Kong Country cartoon is notorious for its innovative animation style? Well, that's one way to put it. The other would be, it sucks. Trust me, there's nothing more I'd rather do than stop talking right now, delete this video, turn off all the power in my house, and go to sleep and never wake up so that I don't have to remember that this cartoon exists. But I just can't. Somebody has to talk about Season 1, Episode 5, Kong for a day, and that person is, unfortunately, me. Most of the episode involves King K. Rool setting up Donkey Kong to get in trouble for things he didn't actually do. You know, things like eating a house? How one would even accomplish such a feat, I'm not sure. But there was a banana peel nearby, so it had to be him. Or quote-unquote making his girlfriend slip. Ah yes, totally DK's fault.
Our date's off. Don't drop by, ever.
How could you do this to me? But my favorite one by far is the one with Dixie Kong.
I'll walk the rest of the way with my buddy Dix.
What?
My buddy Dix.
Who?
My buddy Dix.
Yes, you heard that right. Our boy Donkey just called her Dix.
My buddy Dix.
And I now have my new official favorite Donkey Kong line as well. So this guy, Crusher, for no reason at all, can do a perfect vocal imitation of anyone. And the best way they can think to use this amazing power is to sneak up on Donkey Kong and Dixie and catcall her.
Little Dixie Doodle, you are fine.
Huh? What is up with you?
Put a lip lock on me, Dix.
I know what you're thinking. Don't worry though. She likes it. The rest of the episode is kind of boring, honestly. They banish Donkey, he sings about it, they get attacked, they unbanish Donkey, the end. Oh yeah, and Dixie says this.
You hook up with somebody, DK?
That's not an image I wanted in my head, but it is there now. Up next, we have my favorite cartoon. No, my favorite show. No, the best show ever made. Captain N the Gamemaster. It's Captain N. He's the Game Master. Don't know if you knew that, but he is. Yeah. Out of all the cartoons we've talked about today, this is by far the weirdest one. The basic premise is that some kid gets sucked into the world of, quote, video land, and then he does stuff, I guess. It's basically Captain Nintendo who goes to video game land, but they couldn't call it that or use specific names of video games due to the Children's Television Act signed into law in 1989, which limited advertising in children's programming. I like all of these old cartoons, even if just ironically in some cases, but I can barely sit through one entire episode of Captain N the Gamemaster if I'm being honest. I mean, I did, but only because I had to. I mean, again, somebody has to do this, right? First of all, the characters are just insane and absolutely nothing like their video game counterparts. There's Mega Man, who's just some chubby little 2-foot-tall guy in a costume who has possibly the most annoying voice I've ever heard, even if he didn't say Mega in front of every other word.
Wow, just what I meant and needed.
Wow! You know, just in case you can't remember what game he's from, so you can buy it later. Then there's, quote, Kid Icarus, whose actual name in the game is just Pit. Kid Icarus also ends every frickin' sentence he utters with Icus.
2 love arrows coming up, Icus.
Because of course he does. And he does this even if the response is only one word.
You gotta stop him.
Hooakis.
Yes, Hooakis. He just said Hooakis. More like Hooakis came up with this dialogue, am I right? Ha! But somehow even worse than both of those characters is what they did to Simon Belmont from Castlevania.
It's me, Simon Belmont, vampire hunter, see?
In the game, he's a kick-ass vampire slayer, but in Captain N the Gamemaster, he's, a himbo? I really don't know how else to explain it. He's just dumb. Then there's the main antagonist of the show, Mother Brain from Metroid. In the game, she looks like this. In Captain N the Gamemaster, she looks like this. If vomit-inducing was what they were going for, then, Good job. You nailed it. But as weird as all that stuff is, it isn't even the main reason why I wanted to talk about this show. There's a specific episode called The Invasion of the Paper Peddlers that has a plot point so weird that I could barely even believe that it existed. The episode starts off with the Captain N crew teleporting to a place called
News World,
aka Paperboy World, where they meet a kid named Julio who tells them that all the people in the town are turning to zombies because they're reading the newspapers he's delivering to them.
Mother Brain is my master.
You may be wondering, if he knows the papers are turning people into zombies, why does he keep delivering them? Very good question. Unfortunately, there's no good answer, or even any answer given at all. But also consider the fact that he himself is delivering the papers and is therefore looking at them too, so why is he not a zombie? Well, Julio isn't affected by the newspapers because he can't read. He's illiterate.
I can't read.
Huh?
He can't read because he's been skipping school, apparently for years, to deliver newspapers because his dad lost his job and can't afford to feed his family. That's right, you heard it here first, kids. Learning to read is dangerous. That's why PeanutButterGamer always says, illiteracy. Yeah! Captain N is definitely an unhinged cartoon, but it can't be all bad, right? Like the episode where the main character Kevin makes peace with his former best friend turned bully.
If you were really programmed from my memories of Mike Vincent, what about the good times Mike and I had together when he and I camped out in my backyard in sleeping bags?
I was actually pleasantly surprised that this cheesy, overbearing TV show could randomly pull out such a touching and heartfelt moment.
Or how about when we dressed up as girls and snuck into Susie's sleepover party?
Hey! If you made it this far into the video, why not subscribe? Huh? And for more unhinged cartoons, why not check out my controversial Arthur episodes video?
What is this, Ugly People Day?